Morning everyone. It's time again to share with you a new Fun Fold card. This is part of the Fun Fold Card 2023 challenge hosted by Monica, otherwise known as Paper Mona. And this month we are doing a never-ending card. And what was I going to say? Oh yeah, so we upload on the 5th of the month, and then if you want to play along, you can post your makes in, we've got a Facebook group, Funfold Challenge Facebook group, which if you want to join, you can add your photographs there, or indeed you can share it on social media just as you like. So there's 3 of us in this collaboration: Monica, myself, and another Monica the Quilling Lady. So this was my first attempt at making this card because I'd never made it before, and something went wrong with it because I don't know if you can see here, it's not quite straight here, it's not quite straight, and then in this one the squares don't line up here. But anyway, I was happy with it as a first attempt. So this is the card that we're going to make today. So, and it just does this. So you keep turning it and turning it and turning it and turning it. It's lovely. It's lovely. So right, so that was my first attempt. This was my second attempt, which is much better. And I've decorated this one up. So it goes like this, and then it goes like that, and then it goes like that, and then we're back to the beginning again. But there's one thing, one of them, let me see, which one is it? Well, this one, you can see elements of the one below here and here. It doesn't bother me, but it's one thing to be on the lookout for. And I thought there was another, but no, the rest is all right. And then when I was making it, I did something wrong with the sentiments. So some sentiments were upside down and some were the other way up. I had this word paper which says love on it, and that was in a totally different direction from the others. So when you're putting it together, you just need to be a bit careful. So anyway, so we're going to make the card. So this is what you will need to make a 6x6 card. So you can pause the video perhaps and have a look. So you need 4 pieces of card that are 6 inches by 3 inches, scored at 1.5 and 4.5 inches. And then for your patterned paper, you need 8 pieces that are 2 3/4 inches square, 8 pieces that are 2 3/4 by 1 1/4, and 8 pieces that are 1 1/4 square. Now, you can use the same pattern paper for all the elements if you want. If not, you need, if you want them to be separate, different patterns on each thing, so you will need 4 different papers for the squares, and for these you need 4 by 2, and here you will need 2 by 4, and here you'll need 2 by 4. So you need 4 different papers for the squares, 2 different papers for the oblong pieces, and 2 different papers for the smaller squares. So I leave that there. I don't know whether you can see that or not. So I've prepared everything. So here are my 4, this is the base of the card, and so I've scored them all, and there they are, 3 inches by 6. So there's 4 of those. Then these are the papers that I've chosen. So I'm using the same paper pad as before. So I've got 2 of those, 2 of those, 2 of those, and 2 of those. Okay. And then for the oblongs, I did change it slightly because so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. and 4 of these which say love. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, this might be a challenge. And then for the squares, I've got 4 of those and 4 of those. So those are my papers. Okay, so then you need some 1 inch wide double-sided tape. But, sorry, I'm just looking for my tape. I'm done with it. I'm just going to pause you a minute while I look for it. I came back. So I can't find my 1/2 inch tape. So I have got some which is like 3/4 of an inch wide, and I've got a narrow one. So if I put these two together, they make an inch. So that's perfect. So what you need to do is you need to fold and burnish the all of the cards. Okay, so when you do that, you need to make sure that these don't overlap. Okay, so that they just meet in the middle. So I think that's what went wrong the first time I did it. They overlapped, and then I tried to straighten them and different things, and I just got in a mess. But anyway, this time, hopefully, fingers crossed, it will be all right. So I used a different scoreboard for these, and that made a big difference. It's interesting, isn't it? Okay, so we've got our 4 pieces. Okay, just make sure you line them up. So you turn them over so that they're like so. Okay, and what we want to do is to put the sellotape here and here on one. So I'm just going to put the bigger one down first. So you just want to line that up on these 2 corners. Okay, and now I'm going to put the narrow one down. Just like so. Okay, so that's that. And then you want to take these 2, turn them back the right way. That's right. The right way. Yeah, and you want to stick. You want to stick them this way. So these are going down, and this is going across. Okay, so let's just take the backing off. Just going to do them one at a time. Backing doesn't want to come off. It's too attached to the sellotape. There we go. So we'll just do this one first. Okay, so you want to line up this corner. Okay, so the sellotape is at the top, and you want to line it up and line it up so that that's straight. Okay, so now we'll take the other one off. And it's easier if you turn it over. So you want to line up, you want these ones to line up and to be butted up against one another, and you also want it to line up with that. So we've got something like this, okay? And then we're going to do the same thing with this piece, only we're going to put the sellotape at the bottom of this one, okay? I'm just checking. I think I'm going to put the wider one at the top. So I suppose if you haven't got 1 inch wide double-sided tape, you could cut a bit, maybe, or cut it down the middle. I did follow a tutorial by Sam Calcott. I find her tutorials absolutely brilliant. And so this particular card that I'm making is a 6x6 card, but you can make them 8x8, or I mean, they will all obviously be square when you finish. But so let's take this off, and that off, and this off. So I suppose you could make a 4x4 or 5x5. You just need to adapt the measurements. So now I'm going to stick this to the edge of this. Okay, yeah, just lining that up, and hopefully that won't overlap. Okay, and then the same at the bottom, line it up. Right, so this is the basic mechanism. So as you fold it around, just burnish the folds. Okay, so okay, and then I think we're back to the beginning again. And also just do it several times just to make sure that it doesn't catch. Now this one is catching a little bit. See that this one is catching, because as you can see they're overlapping. So I will just take a slither off this edge with my scissors. I really admire people who can manage to do these things first go, and they all work out perfectly. Anyway, that's better. It's not overlapping now. So 1, 2, 3. This one's overlapping a bit as well. Anyway, I think it'll be all right. So then it's just a question of decorating. Now, there is one of them that you can see the squares underneath. So let me just see which one it is. Not this one. Not that one. I think it's this one. Just let me have a look. Let me have a look. So that one, it's not that one. It's not that one. This one. So the one that looks like this one. So this one, you can see these panels underneath. So you need to make sure that what you put here looks nice with what you're going to put here. So I'm going to decide. I was thinking maybe putting these here and putting this underneath. I think that looks quite nice. Or maybe even doing this, putting these here and putting this on top, because I want one that's fairly plain for the sentiments. I That's quite nice. I think that will work. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. So that's just a little tip from me. That's what I found when I was making it the last time. So that's one thing to be aware of, and the other thing is to make sure that whatever you decorate your card with, it doesn't peep through on a different fold. Like again, this is the same fold here. You know, to make sure that these bits are well covered. Unless you don't mind, of course. It's just fair enough. Okay, so that's those two. And then we're going to decorate these corners, but I want to make sure that also that it goes with, so I'm going to put, I think I'm going to use these ones, or am I going to use these ones? They're quite nice as well. I'll use these ones because I don't know what's coming up when I do the others. Sam did suggest that you do it using this papers from the same pad so that they coordinate, which I think is a good idea. Okay, so that's that, and that's that. So I have to say the month of August has gone flying by, and I can't believe, you know, we're in September already. Right, so that's that page done. So I'm going to move it on to this one. So we know that these are going to be for this one. You can use any papers that you want. As I said, you can use plain papers. You can then mat and layer them. The only important thing is that you don't put any dimension. You know, it has to be flat, otherwise the card will get very bulky. It does fold down to a flat 4 by 6 by 6, which is good. And I would recommend as well, just from my experience, to try to use non-dimensional papers. So that way you don't have to worry about whether you've got them all in the same direction and things like that. You know, I know I'm using a directional paper at the moment, but at least, I mean, I can see it doesn't really matter which way it looks, so long as it's all in the same direction. Right, so that's that one. So now here we are going to put this is where the long pieces come in, and this is where I'm going to put the love. So I'm going to make sure that all the loves go in the same direction, but some are going that way and some are going that way, looking in. Thought that would be a nice way to do it. So there we are. So you just need to take your time to and again, I think I'm going to have the hearts looking in as well. I didn't use this paper on the last one for the big squares. I used it for, excuse me, for the sides. So I think that will look nice, like so. Then squeeze. So this is the love. You can see how easy it is to mat and layer. Well, not to mat and layer, just to put down a layer. Very, very simple. And that's why I used this orange card in the first time, because I thought, you know, the paper would look nice on orange. But as I said, I mucked it up a bit. So I'll still use it, but it's not perfect. And, you know, to give it to somebody who won't mind that it's not perfect. So, you know, black card with Halloween autumn paper would look nice, wouldn't it, for this time of year? So, right, so that's that one. And then this is the last one. So we're going to put these here. I'm not going to put the embellishments on with you because this video is long enough, I think. So, but I'm just showing you the basics, and then you can use flowers, you can use butterflies, you could use stickers of all sorts, you know, whatever takes your fancy, how you want to decorate the card up. Right, so that's those, and then these will go here, like so. And then we'll have a play with it to see what it looks like. And do go over to the two Monica's channels to see what they have come up with. I'm sure they'll be beautiful because they are amazing crafters. Much more amazing than I am, I have to say. So, but I'm learning and I'm having fun, and I think for me that's what crafting's all about. And I have really enjoyed this collaboration because it has helped me to make a few cards that I thought were a bit difficult and, you know, didn't want to try. Well, wanted to try, but wasn't very inspired to try. You know, lazy, I'd say it was. Right, so there we are. So here we are. Let's see how it looks. So like this, and then we go like that, and then we go like that, and then we're back to the beginning again. So you can choose whichever one you want for your fronts, and I'm thinking of putting some white here and putting the sentiments on this one, and then these I will decorate up. So yeah, so there we are. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and I hope you'll give it a go, and thank you all for watching. Take care, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.